Well, what's going on, Aquarius? Welcome to your reading for the week of August 17th through the 23rd. And as you can see, we got your setup up down here and whatnot, and the good stuff and stuff. You guys, I'm tired. All right, so I'll go ahead and pull your card here, Aquarius, and I'm not getting a good feeling from this. All right, I'm really not. I feel like, just like with Sagittarius, I feel like with you, you're not in tune with what's going on. I feel like you've become actually a little bit reckless, or you might be feeling delayed or slowed down, but I don't feel like you really are in line with yourself as well. I feel like you've been doing everything but what you're needing to do. Okay, we'll see what that is, I guess, once we get down into it. Now, this represents you here, so this is your mind, body, and soul, not in that order, but this does represent you, the energies that you may be feeling, or you could be walking into this week with. And then down here we have 3 sets of cards that could give us some insight as to what's going to be happening with you this week. So this is the middle. This is the beginning of the week. This is the middle of the week, and this is the end of the week. Okay. So let's go ahead and get down into your reading here. And I do like to take my time sometimes. Okay, because I want to make sure that I give you the information that you are needing. Okay. I can't seem to get these straight. All right. Aquarius, what's going on with you? What's going on with you, Aquarius? I feel like I just said, I feel as though that you're not in line with yourself. I feel as though that whatever it is that you're going through spiritual, I feel like you got a message about what you're needing to do, or you got some sort of insight on what you're supposed to be doing with your life path, and now you've decided that you don't want to deal with it because it doesn't go along with what you think you should do. Okay, so I feel as though there was some sort of revelation to you about the ways, like your old ways need to die, and you're not quite listening to that. I don't feel as though spiritually you are listening to that, and I don't even feel as though you're listening to that medically either, or at least for your body physically. I feel like you've gotten some news regarding something with your body, like maybe it has something to do with your knee, or something that you're needing, something that's going to be costly to you. And I feel as though for some of you Aquariuses, you don't have insurance, and so you ended up getting this diagnosed from a doctor or from a clinician or somebody to where they're telling you, hey, you might need surgery or this, that, and the third. Like something is to the point where you're going to have a high medical bill, and I feel as though that you're having to balance whether you're wanting to pay for that, you want to go through with that, or you want to save your money. Okay, so I feel as though that there is some sort of balance. There's something going on with you physically to where you're at a crossroads, because the money that you do have saved up, you want to have. That is your rainy day fund. But because of this news that you received regarding your body, is causing you to think about having to dip into that. Okay. And I'm really getting the feeling that you should go get that checked out and pay for it, or something, like, because it seems to be very serious. Okay. Now, either you or somebody, it's probably you, obviously. It's probably you. Aquarius, some of you Aquariuses have not been the nicest people to somebody. Some of you Aquariuses have actually been talking about people. You've been gossiping about people. You've been talking about them behind their back. Or for some of you guys, somebody's been talking about you behind your back. And I feel as though that some of you guys, or most of you Aquariuses, are empaths. So you probably are feeling that pain in your back. So you're probably feeling it not only mentally but physically as well. So maybe that's where the pain is. Maybe it's not necessarily your knee. It could be, for some of you guys, it could be your back. But I really feel as though that some of you guys are dealing with something that's like mentally you don't feel like mentally you just don't feel like you're there. You don't feel like you can communicate, or the things that you say or the things that you think might be a little too dark for you, or, you know, because I believe that some of you guys are going through something, you know, called your Saturn return. So it could be like old feelings, old thoughts, old patterns coming up right now to show you some ways that, you know, are no longer beneficial for you or for your path. All right, so let's go ahead and get down into this to the week. I forgot there is a message for you under here. It may pertain to this reading, it may not pertain to this reading, it may pertain to something else in your life. All right, but this is an oracle reading underneath. That's for you. That's for you. Okay, so right now, right down here, obviously we have your week. So let's go ahead and get started with the week, if I can just turn it over. All right. Interesting, Aquarius. Interesting. Okay, so for some of you Aquariuses, you're starting the week off broke. Okay, you have no money. Okay, you got no money. So whatever it is you did this past weekend has now caught up to you, okay? And you're regretting it, because I feel as though that has now, for some of you guys, whatever y'all did this past weekend was very immature of you. Some of you guys probably dipped into a fund or dipped into some money that was supposed to be for bills, and you decided you wanted to spend it on something else that was more important, or spend it on something else that was less important, excuse me. Okay. Some of you guys, I feel as though that you're creatively blocked. Like, you know, at one point you might have felt as though that you'd be able to paint, or you'd be able to create, or you're able to do something to where you can get your mind off of certain things. But I feel like coming into this week, you might be feeling mentally blocked. You might be feeling like you can't come up with certain things. And I'm getting, for some of you Aquariuses, you probably found out over the weekend that you might have heard about a pregnancy. For some of you Aquariuses, you might have heard about a pregnancy. Maybe it's your friend, maybe it's you, but somebody has some complications with some pregnancy this past weekend. Okay, it was you, somebody else, but for the most part, I feel like Aquarius says you're coming into this week broke. Okay. Like you wish, I feel as though that you wish that you had more stability, or you wish you didn't have, or you wish you didn't get too turned up, too twisted. All right, well, now you got to face it. Now you got to deal with it. For some of you guys, you might be dealing with some heartburn at the beginning of this week. Okay, so important message regarding the beginning of this week, Aquarius. Just like I said, some of you guys are repeating some past patterns. All right, so it could be a pattern of, you know, what I was saying earlier about you balancing everything, okay? Like, you may be balancing between, like, maybe you want to save and then spend. Some of you might be balancing whether you need to, like, some of you guys are probably being presented with this broke situation because you keep repeating old patterns. You keep going back to the past. You keep going back to what makes you think, what you think makes you feel good, instead of being in line with your spirituality. Okay, so that's a lot going on at the beginning of the week, Aquarius. Good night. All right, so what we have towards the middle of the week. Okay, some of you guys are into some destructive behavior. Aquarius, what is going on, honey? What is going on? Some of you guys are going to be very destructive in the middle of this week. Please, okay, for some of you Aquariuses, please do not go into the dark side, okay? I feel like this is a very heavy reading. I feel like this is something that's very important for you, that you're really needing to hear. I wouldn't have this sense of urgency in my voice if I didn't feel as though that this is something that you definitely need to pay attention to. Not to say that I don't give my all with the rest of the readings, but for this one, I'm not getting a good feeling for you, Aquarius. Okay, please be mindful of this week, all right? Because the reason why I say that is because some of you guys are actually going to implode on yourselves, all right? You could be feeling very detached. I see some of you getting into some substances in the middle of the week because of some news that you might have heard. Okay, but I don't feel like you're really wanting to move forward with your spiritual path. Like, I feel like you're purposely ignoring what you're needing to do because it's not going to be fun. Like, I feel like you've gotten some sort of news, or you've gotten some sort, not inspiration, but some sort of enlightenment, something that told you that you are meant for something, you're meant for this. And because it's so much pressure on you, I feel as though that you're going to do something called escapism and escape into a different reality, or not pay attention, or do something a little destructive to yourself. Okay, Aquarius, please keep an open, please pay attention to your energies this week, okay? Because I feel as though that this week is going to be a very, very, very heavy week for you, okay? And so let's go towards the end of the week here, all right? Oof. All right. So there's going to be some sort of transition that's going to be happening to you towards the end of this week, Aquarius. I feel like towards the end of the week, you actually might end up coming to some sort of a decision. Or some of you might be coming up. Some of you might come to a decision. Some of you, very small group of you. But for the most part, I feel like this is something that's going to be ongoing for a while, okay? I don't see you making any sort of decision at the end of the week, okay? In fact, I feel as though that you're just wanting to really forget all about it. I feel as though that you're wanting to just dive deep. Like, it's a continuation. I feel like whatever it is that you're doing in the middle of the week is a continuation towards the end of the week, in the sense of escapism. Like, you know, you're not wanting to pay attention to your responsibilities. You might actually fall on your responsibilities. And if you do that, that's actually going to get you into some sort of legal trouble. Okay, so Aquarius, please be very, very mindful. Okay? Like I said, if this is your Saturn return, definitely be mindful, because this actually may be more for you than anybody else. So it's only be a certain group of you guys. But yeah. No matter what you do, Aquarius is going to be there, because that's supposed to be that's what you're supposed to be doing. And some of you guys might not even go into any sort of substance abuse this the middle of the week, but some of you guys actually just might implode on yourself. Some of you might go into substance abuse. Others, you might just implode and just be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. Like, this is too much pressure. This is just too much. Just take your time with it, okay? Nobody's asking you to rush, but know that this is probably what you're needing to hear, and this is probably you're chosen for something very special, for something big, okay? So let me go ahead and get right into your love or oracle reading. It's not a love reading, but just something for you, like a message. So, wow, this really does pertain to your reading, okay? So it says, ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need, okay? Ask for help if something is if something is not making sense to you, or, you know, it doesn't even have to be help for somebody else, or from like somebody physical. Maybe somebody, like, you know, maybe a spirit. Maybe it's the universe that you need to talk to. Maybe you need to meditate. Maybe you need to figure out, maybe your ancestors have some sort of advice or help, or something to help you get along through this journey, because right now you're going through something very, very transformative, and you need all the help that you can get so you don't implode in yourself, okay? So please take care of yourself this week, Aquarius. So with that being said, I'm going to end the reading here. Like, comment, subscribe, please share. And if it resonated with you, great. If it didn't, then it wasn't for you. Maybe if it's somebody else that you do know that this might be an important message that they need to hear, please let them know, all right? So you guys try to have a wonderful week. Try to have a wonderful week, okay? And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.